about an interest rate announcement in South Africa. And this comes against the background of South Africa and where we are from an inflation perspective. What is the inflation rate doing? And we see consumer prices increasing right across the board. And the fuel prices obviously driving many of these costs, particularly looking at rising food costs. And at some point in time, obviously, the interest rate would come under scrutiny and under the radar. And joining us on the line this morning is chief economist at Alexander Forbes. We're talking with Isaah Mhlanga. Isaah, good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners.
Yes, as I mentioned, interest rates would come under scrutiny considering where we are at this point in time and looking at things like consumer prices and the inflation rate generally, Isaah.
Indeed, we saw the inflation for the previous month, October, remaining steady at 5%. But also we saw a significant increase in terms of fuel prices. We also, saw quite an increase in terms of household utilities, which are your electricity, and the projections are that we are likely to continue to see elevated prices coming from oil, a weaker currency, and that may have prompted the South African Reserve Bank to hike interest rates by 25 basis points yesterday in anticipation of those pressures that are likely to drive inflation up. But if you look at their inflation forecast, it doesn't signal that inflation is going to be a problem, especially if you consider that for this year, they have an average inflation of 4.5%, which is slightly higher than the previous inflation forecast of 4.4%, which they had at the September MPC. For next year, in 2022, they have 4.3% average inflation, also slightly higher than 4.2% previously. And then in 2023 and 2024, they have 4.6% and 4.5%. So it doesn't appear that we have a problem with inflation, since it is just around the midpoint of the target band of 3 to 6%. So their increase is in anticipation of what's happening in other markets, particularly the US, and also in other emerging markets that are hiking interest rates. So they're trying to make investment returns competitive by hiking interest rates.
Yes. Now, the one issue you mentioned is the currency and with the volatility in the currency. And it's actually difficult, Isaah, at this point in time, considering that our currency is so volatile and we don't know what is going to happen. And together with it, as you mentioned, the oil price as well. So there is pressure for us, there's pressure all around. So because of the volatility that we see, that is completely out of our hands.
Indeed, the volatility, the rand is one of the most volatile currencies in the world. It's also a proxy currency for how investors or fund managers trade emerging markets. And to that extent, the developments in the US, where the US Federal Reserve is starting to withdraw quantitative easing or its bond buying program, beginning this month by $15 billion a month, is going to exert pressure on emerging market currencies in general. So it's not a South Africa specific. It is an emerging market, a trend in general that is going to impact South Africa. So that anticipation of a weakening currency every time global monetary policy starts to tighten, it's what the Reserve Bank is concerned about. But it seems also that they have moved away from their reaction function, which usually they look through the first round effects of the weak currency and look to respond to the second round effects. So they hike in anticipation of the first round effects, which means there is somewhat change in how they have responded this time around.
And just looking at the Reserve Bank and in terms of its policies at this point in time, are there any other alternatives, or is this the best at this point in time?
So we know the the framework, the monetary policy framework that was instituted in 2000 by the National Treasury is one of inflation targeting. Remember, the National Treasury sets the framework and then gives the Reserve Bank the independence to implement that framework. So the target band, inflation targeting framework was set by Treasury. The target band of 3 to 6% in terms of the inflation target is set by National Treasury in conjunction with the South African Reserve Bank. But within that, the Reserve Bank then has the independence in terms of which instruments to use to achieve that inflation target. And at this point in time, it is the interest rate, the repo rate, which is what they use to control inflation. Until National Treasury comes up with a different framework, the Reserve Bank will continue to use the same framework. National Treasury is currently undergoing a macroeconomic review, which is expected to be published next year in the first quarter, where potentially we might see the inflation target band being lowered to between 2 to 4%, which means the midpoint is going to be 3%. But for now, that is not what the Reserve Bank targets. It still target a 3 to 6%. I think I may have been disconnected. I can't hear anything.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Every 60 seconds, a silent pandemic claims the life of a child. Unsafe water is having a devastating global impact on health and livelihoods. Islamic Relief is at the forefront, providing clean and safe water to vulnerable communities around the world. Our tailored approach to sustainable water solutions enable families not just to survive, but to thrive, ensuring they stay healthy and safe. Give water, give life with Islamic Relief.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Reliable access to clean water could save thousands of lives each day. With proper sanitation and easy access to fresh, clean water, communities can flourish. Our Thirst Relief Appeal provides clean water to communities in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East by building deep wells and providing sustainable water and hygiene solutions. A monthly donation of as little as 700 Rand could build a well for a community in need. That's only 23 Rand a day. Donate today. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 11 00 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever. So tonight it's stir fry for dinner, cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan. Dinner's ready! Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
As the crisis in Palestine continues, the Africa Muslims Agency teams are on the ground facilitating emergency food and medical assistance to the affected families. Donate 15,000 rand or any amount and help the people of Palestine. Call AMA now on 083-251-9376 or donate online at Africa Muslims Agency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Gönüllerde hasretin var, yürekler aşkınla çarpar. Sensiz dünya bizlere dar. Selam sana ey kutlu yar. With submission, faith and patience, you conveyed the noble message, brought us light through your guidance. Peace be upon you, my beloved. Ya Habibi, Ya Muhammad, Ya Nabi, salam alayka. Ya Rasul, salam alayka.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
The time is just gone 8:50 a.m. and we need to apologize. There was a slight break in communication there, but we continue with the show this morning. And it's time of the morning where we bring you Jummah Nasiha. And this morning, alhamdulillah, we are getting wonderful words of advice in Jummah Inspirations, and that is coming through from Mufti Matullah Kaji, a member of the Jamiat al-Ulama KwaZulu-Natal. Mufti Saab, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
المرسلين يا حبيبي